Recently, I came into a large amount of Nintendo games, which is pretty cool. I added about 20 games to my collection, and I have a shitload of doubles and now even some triples that I have plans for right now, sort of, but eventually I'll do something with them. Anyway, adding these games to my collection, I decided, screw it! I'm going to alphabetize my Nintendo collection, something that I've thought about doing for quite some time, but just never, ever did. So today I spent more time than I thought it would take alphabetizing my games. Now, the reason why I never did this before is I regularly pick up games. Like right now, using my shelf as an example, we got Mega Man 2, and then starting down here on the next row, Mega Man 3. Eventually, I may pick up Mega Man 1 and 4 through 6 if I come across them for a price I'm willing to pay. And that's going to bump everything out of whack. Not to mention, I only have space for one more game before I have a problem again. I sort of modified my bookshelf. There used to be a row of movies down here from way back when I first got this bookshelf like 10 years ago. Had a row of movies, and then plenty of room for all my games. And as of 2006, I started collecting and buying more. I had a really good job and lots of disposable income, so my collection boomed for about 4 years. But I still pick things up as I find deals and stuff. So I just took a couple of screws, I measured some stuff, and I still had this extra rung of the shelf sitting in between these two shelves right here. And because I always hold on to shit like that, because in the long run it becomes handy. So now I got most of my Super Nintendo games down here on the bottom, and I've got a couple of spillover games over here on the next shelf that I cleared up, because that always kind of bugged me that I had one row of Super Nintendo games over here, one row over here, and then I had to start stacking them up on top. And so I'm going to find a new home for those DVDs that were previously down here. And yeah, but my question is, what do you do when you're in a situation like this where, you know, I'm kind of boned once I get one more Nintendo game, which I'm not actively looking for Nintendo games. For the most part, I have all the Nintendo games I want. I mean, there's a couple I can think of off the top of my head that I want. Mitch keeps raving about Shatterhand, so I would like to get that. There are some things that I would bump. Like, I have this copy of Mario Brothers next to my copy of Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. So if space started becoming an issue, that would go. My alternate gray cart version of Zelda 2 would go. Also, there's another thing that sort of bugs me about alphabetizing my games that was specifically a problem with the Nintendos, the only one I can really think of where it's problematic. I decided to put Legend of Zelda down here with both my copies of Zelda 2, which I guess, you know, The Adventure of Link and The Legend of Zelda, they shouldn't go there, but I just put them as Zelda and Zelda 2. The other one where it's more apparent as a problem would be Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge. I like to keep my sequels next to each other, but Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge, it doesn't even have a subtitle. It's just Snake's Revenge. So I made my choice, but I was just wondering what other people do. Also, another instance is Star Tropics and Zoda's Revenge Star Tropics 2, which, you know, fuck it, it's Star Tropics 2, subtitles Zoda's Revenge. Am I letting my autism show? Or does this bother other people? What do you do with your collection? Do you not even give a fuck? For the longest time, I just had them ordered by preference in groups of series. So the games I played the most were up top, so I wouldn't have to lean down and fucking, usually I have junk piled up down towards the bottom of my shelves anyway. So it's harder to get to the shit on the bottom, because I never really went to those DVDs too often. Just something I wanted to throw out there, wondering what other people do with their crap. I put up a page on the website about the junk I got, my large haul of Nintendo games. If you'd like to check that out, there's a link in the description. But let me know how you organize your shit. I'm curious. I want to know